Unpopular opinion, and I don't care what y'all get on here and say, Stephanie, you're letting Drew groom your girls. And I know y'all are probably like, oh, all kids run around with no socks and shoes on. Something about seeing him interact more with them than he does his son is alarming.
Things that you guys say about him as a man is nowhere near the man that I know today. I mean, it's his birthday today, and he don't want us to do anything. And that's how he's been since I got with him. Every time it was his birthday, he was like, I'd rather do nothing about it. Just, I want to focus on taking care of our kids, and how can I do something for you? I mean, almost always on his birthday, he's like, what do you want for dinner? What can we do for you? Like, babe, can I just do something for you? Quite a bit today.
Picture this. A glossy, perfectly staged video drops on social media, promising to mend the tattered reputation of Stephanie and Drew Jenkins. It's supposed to be a heartwarming glimpse into their lives, a snapshot of a couple rediscovering harmony in the mundane. In the clip, they're in their kitchen, tossing spices onto fish, sizzling it in a pan, and slicing up potatoes with that forced, overly cheerful banter you'd expect from influencers desperate to sell you their redemption arc. Stephanie's caption drips with saccharine nonsense about bonding and love, while Drew chimes in, claiming that cooking together is their sacred ritual, their way of stitching their fractured connection back together. It's all so carefully curated, so painfully performative, you can almost hear the script being read off screen. But the facade cracks the moment you look past their polished smiles. In the background, their toddler Atlas is left to fend for himself, bouncing on a bed in a repetitive, almost mechanical rhythm, his small voice echoing in a loop that screams neglect louder than any of their rehearsed lines. The sound of his stimming, a repetitive behavior that can signal unmet emotional or sensory needs, cuts through the video like a siren. For a child, stimming can be a natural way to self-soothe. But when it's excessive, when it's happening in complete isolation with no adult stepping in, it's a glaring sign that something's wrong. Atlas isn't just bouncing. He's trapped in a cycle of solitude while his parents play house for the camera. The sheer disconnect is jarring.
Are the resilient Jenkins gonna break up? Because I just found out that Drew was cheating on Stephanie. I know, I'm super late, okay? But I know there was this account named Drew's Side Piece, and she posted a lot of messages, and we do know for a fact that his phone number is real. Like, that is his actual phone number. And we learned so much about Drew that I really didn't want to know about, but we do learn that I guess he is gonna start a job. He did it because he's just tired of being home, I think. I think he just wants to get out of the house, get away from Stephanie. We find out that he's into feet. He wanted to see her feet first before he asked for anything else. He asked for a feet picture. It's really weird. We find out that he's not into black girls anymore. He's into white girls, hence Stephanie. And this woman is white. There was a lot of explicit text going back and forth. He was really hesitant though at the beginning, and he just got really comfortable. I'm not sure how the text ended, and I think this was real though. I don't think she was catfishing him. And I wonder why she decided to post. I don't know. I really want her to come back because I have 1,000 questions. And why is Stephanie still with him? Like, this came out, I think, Friday, and she's still with him. And then now they did that whole GoFundMe to try and keep Deshaun. Like, what judge is going to be okay with this? Where they're living in a hotel room, 7 people. There's this whole cheating allegation. This is not a good family for any kid to be in. And it just makes me really sad for the kids, obviously. But what do you guys think about this cheating allegation? Are you surprised Stephanie hasn't left? I don't know, but let's talk about this in the comments.
Here's Stephanie and Drew, giggling over their fish like they're auditioning for a rom-com, while their son is left to self-regulate in a way that suggests he's craving attention, stimulation, or just a shred of genuine care. Viewers didn't miss it either. The comments erupted with concern, pointing out how Atlas's repetitive actions weren't just background noise, but a heartbreaking cry for engagement. This wasn't a moment of connection for the Jenkins family. It was a staged performance that left their child sidelined, his needs ignored for the sake of likes and views. Honestly, it's hard to watch without feeling a mix of anger and sadness. Stephanie and Drew's obsession with crafting this perfect image only highlights their priorities: clout over care, optics over their own kid. And here's the real sting. They probably thought they nailed this video. They thought we'd all buy their cozy little act, but the truth? It's just another chapter in their saga of self-absorption. Speaking of chapters, stick around to the end of this video for more on this mess. And hey, if you're as fed up with fake influencer antics as I am, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell. Because trust me, we're just getting started.
I'll end up with so much dishes. Wait, that's not as bad. Oh, your hair is
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how you're 2 seconds and I'm like, ew, I've never had your mashed potatoes, baby. Ooh, look at the chicken. That's delicious. Dumbasses, we eat them.
Mm-hmm. They all do. There's a carrot in that.
In fact, they actually love veggies. Bella loves broccoli.
This entire cooking video is nothing but a carefully staged charade, a flimsy attempt to gloss over the ugly reality of Drew and Stephanie Jenkins' fractured dynamic. Look at Drew's face in that clip. Does he seem genuinely invested? Not even close. His smiles feel rehearsed, his movements mechanical, as if he's going through the motions to check a box rather than actually connecting with his wife. And Stephanie, she's putting on her best performance, beaming like everything's perfect, as if the internet somehow forgot the humiliating moment Drew slammed a car door in her face during a live stream, leaving her to look foolish in front of thousands. How do you bounce back from that kind of public disrespect and act like you're living in a rom-com, stirring a pot of potatoes with a grin? It's baffling. Do they think their audience is that gullible, that we've all collectively lost our memory? This is the same Drew who couldn't be bothered to parent his own kids, treating them like inconveniences to be shuffled off to Stephanie while he does whatever he pleases. The whispers about a possible side piece don't help his case either. His half-hearted presence in that kitchen screams disinterest, not devotion. The whole scene feels like a desperate attempt to sell a love story that no one's buying, least of all those who've been following their saga long enough to see through the facade. This isn't a one-off either. It's a pattern Drew and Stephanie have perfected. Every time Drew's behavior sparks outrage, whether it's cheating allegations, public disrespect towards Stephanie, or even moments where he's verbally harsh with their kids, they lean on the same tired script. Out comes a cozy aesthetic video, complete with soft lighting and a wholesome activity like cooking, designed to shift the narrative and paint Drew as a reformed family man. It's not a fresh start. It's a recycled tactic to dodge accountability. Take the recent cheating scandal, for instance. A woman came forward with what looked like ironclad evidence. Screenshots, text messages, even personal photos that laid bare Drew's betrayal. The proof wasn't some vague rumor. It was detailed, specific, and devastatingly clear. Yet Drew's response? Absolute silence.
Y'all, Stephanie posted a video saying that for Drew's birthday today, that he didn't ask for anything, he didn't want to do anything, he just wants to take care of their kids for his birthday. Now, Stephanie, who are you trying to convince, us or yourself? Now, what I think that translates to is, I want to play the game all day, you watch the kids, so they don't bother me, so I can play my game that my other girlfriend girlfriend by me. Because if y'all didn't know, Drew has another girlfriend. And she's all over this app showing proof. Stephanie, I don't know what you're putting in that food, but I know you know the saying, a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And them one skillet meals, girl. And it's like, did y'all not notice the pattern of like all these birthday posts that she makes? It's always something sad. It's always something having to be explained. Y'all gotta let me know what you think down in the comments.
No explanation, no apology, just a void where accountability should have been. Instead, Stephanie swooped in to play defense, offering up a laughable excuse. He always answers my calls, as if picking up the phone somehow erases infidelity. Her willingness to shield him isn't loyalty, it's enabling, a choice to prioritize their public image over addressing the rot in their relationship. Drew's silence wasn't strength, it was a calculated move to avoid scrutiny while letting Stephanie absorb the fallout. She didn't just stand by him, she actively minimized his actions, spinning excuses to fill the gaps he left wide open. Meanwhile, Drew's behavior stays consistent, consistently disappointing. Even this cooking moment, which they try to pass off as a sweet, redemptive act, reeks of inauthenticity. It's not about rebuilding trust or showing genuine care, it's about crafting an illusion to keep their audience distracted. The fish might be sizzling, but the real heat is in the unresolved issues they're so desperate to bury.
Officially 2 weeks into being homeless and living in a motel as a family of 7. Now this hit us right at spring break, and it's been a little bit challenging finding ways to entertain the kiddos. And I know I've seen other comments about y'all saying, oh, kids aren't supposed to be resilient. Now, while I fully agree that our living situation is not ideal for any of us right now, I just don't agree that we have to be you're miserable. I mean, you see our situation as miserable, and we just don't see it like that. I also seen y'all had an issue with us being positive mindset about it. Like, this lady is positive mindset for what? She should be miserable. Because if commenter number 8,852 grew up in a big family, in a small home where parents fought all the time and disregarded the children's existence, surely that's got to be the case for the resilient Jenkins. That's just not the case here. Are we perfect? Fuck no. Like any other family, we butt heads from time to time, and these siblings be sibling. But at the end of the day, we are each other's safe space in every way. One memory I'm forever going to hold on to is something my kids do right before bedtime. They all plan their dreams so that they can dream together.
Throughout the entire video, neither Stephanie nor Drew so much as glanced at their toddler Atlas, who was left to bounce endlessly on a bed in the background, his repetitive stimming a stark signal of neglect. Stephanie had the audacity to slap a caption on this charade, claiming they were tag-teaming parenthood, as if ignoring their child's presence while mugging for the camera counts as teamwork. What kind of parenting duo lets their kids stew in isolation, completely unacknowledged, while they play-act domestic bliss for an audience? This wasn't just a fleeting moment of distraction or multitasking gone awry. It was a glaring revelation of their priorities, where curating a shiny public image trumped the emotional needs of their own son. The scene painted a painful picture. Two adults so consumed with their performance, laughing over a sizzling pan, tossing around cutesy banter, that they couldn't spare a second to connect with Atlas, who was right there, visibly craving attention. For viewers, the contrast was gut-wrenching. In the foreground, Stephanie and Drew crafted a hollow narrative of love and unity, while in the background, their toddler's unmet needs screamed louder than any scripted line. It's the kind of thing that makes you question what's really going on behind their carefully filtered posts. This video wasn't about family, it was about damage control.
We didn't want to have to do that. We didn't want to have to ask for handouts, but at this point, we need some freaking help.
Y'all, the resilient Jenkins, the family of 7 that is homeless because both parents are refusing to work. Mind you, the internet has been telling them to get jobs for the past 5 months. Yeah, that family, they are now asking the internet to give them money. They are starting a GoFundMe and asking the internet to give them money so they can take care of their kids. Now, let me just paint the picture for you. Not only are these people refusing to get jobs, the dad literally said, he was like, I don't want to get a job because I don't like dealing with rude customers. Not only that, they have also monetized off of the creator fund, okay? And I'm just going to break this down for you. The creator fund pays people based on how many views they are raking in, okay? And this family, on each video, they get hundreds of thousands of views. Some videos get millions of views. And not only that, the creator fund pays you based on how engaged people are in your comments, and these people get so much engagement because all their comments are like, go get a job, go get a job. So this family refuses to work to provide for their 7 children, but somehow they're getting by based on like food stamps, whatever, and also the fact that they are fully monetized on TikTok. Not only do they make money off of their videos, they also have subscribers who subscribe to their exclusive content, aka them just going on rants about how they don't have money, even though they're refusing to get a job. Yet somehow, all that money is disappearing.
Just days before, Drew's true colors had spilled across the internet in a way no amount of warm lighting could soften. Clips surfaced of him slamming a door in Stephanie's face, yanking her off a live stream with a callousness that felt personal, and offloading their kids onto her like they were chores to be delegated. These weren't one-off moments of frustration, but part of a disturbing pattern that's become impossible to ignore. The internet didn't let it slide either. Criticism flooded in, calling out Drew's behavior as toxic and Stephanie's complicity as equally troubling. Instead of addressing the backlash head-on, Drew did what he always does, vanished into the void, only to resurface with a spatula and a smile, pretending to be the doting partner. The fish-frying, potato-peeling act wasn't about rediscovering family. It was a calculated move to deflect, to drown out the noise of valid criticism with a staged display of domesticity. It's almost insulting how predictable this playbook has become. They think a quick video of them playing house will erase the memory of Drew's coldness or Stephanie's willingness to go along with it. But the audience isn't buying it. And honestly, why should they? The real story isn't in the seasoning they sprinkled or the potatoes they peeled. It's in the child they ignored, the issues they dodged, and the facade they're so desperate to maintain.
One of the cringiest things I've seen this week is Mr. and Mrs. Resilient Jenkins, Stephanie and Drew Jenkins, making lunch together. Now, we all know that they don't work. They are staying in a motel with a family of 7 in one-room motel, shelter, whatever you want to call it. Neither one of them want to work because they don't want to wear their self out and want to live long for their kids, even though being homeless is probably one of the biggest stressors they have. They swear up and down they have no money, but make about $15K a month on TikTok. But besides the point, let me show you this picture. In this picture, you can see there's Stephanie's hand scooping the water out of the rice and Drew's hand's holding it. Like, y'all can't do nothing alone. I have never in my whole entire life made dinner and had my husband help hold a bowl so I can post it on TikTok. Like, can you imagine that conversation? Hey, babe, my king, my one and only, the most wonderful man in the world. Can you hold this bowl so that my TikTok followers think that you do something every day besides play video games? Just please hold the bowl for me. Like, you guys are batshit crazy. Batshit crazy. You guys need to put as much time and effort into getting your kids out of a shelter motel as you do posting these stupid fucking cooking content videos.
The specifics of this so-called cozy cooking video are impossible to ignore, and they paint a picture far more troubling than Stephanie and Drew Jenkins would like you to believe. They set up their little kitchen scene in a cramped motel room with a hot plate precariously positioned just inches from a television screen. Boiling water and sizzling oil bubbled dangerously close to electronics, in a space so poorly ventilated it felt like a disaster waiting to happen. One wrong move, a slip, a spill, and they could have been dealing with a fire, an injury, or something even worse. Yet, instead of recognizing the recklessness of their setup, they chose to film it, package it, and present it as some charming moment of domestic bliss. Stephanie had the nerve to caption this hazardous display with gushing words about making their motel room feel homey, even claiming the kids loved the cozy vibe. But let's stop and unpack that for a second. If homey now means cooking with fire hazards in a confined space, ignoring a toddler who's stimming for attention, and conveniently glossing over a punched-out hole in the bathroom door, covered up with nothing but a flimsy sign, then we're not talking about warmth or comfort. We're talking about a dangerous normalization of chaos, dressed up as family life. This isn't a story of love or healing, it's a masterclass in crisis management, sprinkled with spices and fake smiles to distract from the mess.
All that money, they still cannot get a home, even though they're making thousands of dollars a month off of the creator fund, which should be enough to pay rent. So there are substance abuse allegations. If all this money is just disappearing and you have been homeless for months now. And anyways, so the internet's like, guys, get a job, get a job. Finally, they're like, okay, the dad applied to a few jobs, but he's obviously not taking it seriously because the dad literally games all day. And we know this because they put a lot of their life online. So now both of them, the mom and the dad, got on live stream and they were like, hey, we don't want to have to do this, but we need help. We need money. Can you guys donate to our GoFundMe? Which is like fucking mind-blowing to me because this is why it's mind-blowing, okay? Say they're fucking lazy, they don't want to get jobs. Okay. They don't even upload once a day. If this woman uploaded 2 to 3 times a day, she would get thousands of views and probably triple how much she was making. So what I'm trying to wrap my head around is before going and asking for handouts from hardworking people who are mostly in a similar situation because most of their followers have many kids and are mothers themselves. But beside the point, why don't you just upload a video every day? Why don't you upload multiple videos a day if you are looking to make more money? Why is your go-to response, let me ask people to donate to a GoFundMe? And they've done this so many times. They have done the whole GoFundMe thing before where they ask people to donate money and then people literally buy their kids' necessities that these people aren't even buying their kids because they're too busy spending money on a fucking PS4 so the dad can game all day instead of working. Like, I'm just fucking shook at the fucking audacity people these days online have.
And the mess doesn't stop at their motel room aesthetics. It spills into the courtroom, where Drew's failures are stacking up in ways that can't be hidden behind a curated video. He's not just dodging responsibility in private, he's openly defying legal obligations. In his ongoing child support case, Drew had the audacity to swear under oath that he'd secured a job, a claim that fell apart almost immediately. The judge saw right through his lie, calling him out for what it was. A blatant fabrication. Drew's response? He deflected, spinning a tale about how he couldn't work because he was too busy caring for Stephanie's kids. Not their kids, not his family, just Stephanie's kids. A phrase that betrays exactly how he views his role in their lives. It's a calculated choice of words, one that distances him from any sense of duty, emotionally or financially. He's not painting himself as a devoted father, but as a man burdened by someone else's responsibilities. And then there's his excuse. He's supposedly too tied up with childcare to earn a living. But let's be real, this isn't a struggling single parent overwhelmed by life's demands. This is a man weaponizing his own children as an alibi for his refusal to step up. Drew has no issue flaunting his gig work online, posting about his DoorDash deliveries or other side hustles to project an image of hustle and effort. Yet, when it comes to the one thing that matters, supporting his kids financially, not a single penny from those gigs has gone toward his court-ordered child support. 0. Nothing. The disconnect is staggering. He's happy to play the part of a hard-working guy for the internet, but when it comes to actual accountability, he's nowhere to be found. This isn't just negligence. It's a deliberate choice to prioritize his image over his children's well-being, leaving Stephanie to clean up the mess while he skates by, unchallenged and unchanged.
Like the audacity to ask other people who do not have the same benefit as just pulling out their phone, recording a video and making hundreds of dollars off that video to donate to you. And you're refusing to get a job and everyone's telling you just go get a job and you're refusing is fucking insane. That's fucking insane. And y'all better not be donating to that GoFundMe because that's crazy. Enabling that behavior is crazy. Like, if they didn't want to work, no one's forcing them to work. But why did they have so many kids? And mind you, these children are not accidents. They are purposefully choosing to have these kids over and over and over again. I'm just mind blown. Like, there needs to be some sort of prerequisite in this country to have children because the people that are having children in this country is fucking insane.
Drew Jenkins' defiance isn't just a bad habit. It's a deliberate choice that's spiraling into serious consequences. Despite repeated warnings from the court, he continues to thumb his nose at legal obligations, treating them like optional suggestions rather than binding orders. The judge has finally drawn a line in the sand, issuing Drew a non-negotiable ultimatum: pay something toward his overdue child support by the end of July 2025. or face penalties that go far beyond a stern warning. This isn't a minor inconvenience anymore. It's a looming crisis that could upend his life. But Drew's failures extend beyond dodging financial responsibilities. He's equally reckless when it comes to custody arrangements. He was ordered to ensure regular Sunday visits between his son, Dasan, and Dasan's mother, Desire, a basic expectation for any co-parenting agreement. Did he follow through? Barely. He complied exactly once, and surprise, surprise, it happened right after Desire secured a lawyer, as if he needed the threat of legal muscle to do the bare minimum. Of course, true to form, Drew made sure to film that single visit, parading it online like it was some grand gesture of fatherly devotion.
I show those stupid people out there that we kids are happy with our mom. And you're not going to take that away from us. Or us.
So this is from a subscriber-only video where the kids and Stephanie were taking apart a mold that they made of the baby girl's hand. And this was the very beginning, and her daughter says this, and then she looks at Stephanie almost for like approval or for like, did I say the right thing? And then she says the other part. I don't care what people think of me, but this is why I do what I do. This is why I raise awareness about different situations that affect children, because you can clearly see that everything that has happened and is talked about around them bothers them. These kids don't need to know all of these crazy things that are said. She shouldn't be talking about all of this in front of them. And she should be putting them first. Like, everything that has happened is because she refuses to take accountability, because her and Drew have put their needs before these kids. And that is the main issue here and the main thing that everybody should be focused on. This is all just so crazy, and we just all need to be focused on the fact that these children are going through one of the hardest things they're ever going to go through. They are growing up in an insane amount of trauma that is happening to them. They're all shoved into this little tiny room now, and it's even worse than it was in the one bedroom. And it's just awful. I really do pray that things get better soon for these children, that they get to be in a loving home where they're safe and they have everything that they need. I do just want to say that I'm not going to be posting every single time the Jenkins post anymore. While if they post something and I think you guys need to see it, I'm absolutely going to let you know. And anything else that happens that I can update you on, that I have permission to do so, I will. But there's a whole lot of other shit going on in this app that really needs to be talked about and in the world. And y'all know I got to cover that. Good night, y'all. I'm exhausted. Make sure you're following, repost, share, do all the things, and keep an eye out for new content.
One act of compliance, captured for clout, and then he slid right back into ignoring the court's mandate. When pressed about why Dasan's visit stopped, Drew's excuse was as flimsy as it gets. He claimed the child simply didn't want to go. Whether there's any truth to that is beside the point. Leaning on a child's reluctance to justify ignoring a legal order isn't parenting. It's a cowardly way to shift adult responsibility onto a kid who's already caught in the crossfire of his father's choices. Drew's list of justifications doesn't stop there. It's a never-ending carousel of self-serving explanations. He points to childhood trauma, cites sensory overload, and leans heavily on his autism diagnosis, claiming he needs noise-canceling headphones to cope with the kid's presence. It's a convenient narrative, one that paints him as a victim of circumstance rather than a man refusing to step up. And then there's his bizarre attempt at relatability. Like that moment he posted from a laundromat, casually joking about being on vacation without the kids, as if parenting is an optional side gig he can clock out of whenever it suits him. Compare that to Stephanie, who's out there spinning tales about cleaning their motel room 3 times a day, while somehow missing the dirt piling up under furniture, a claim so absurd it's almost comical. And let's not forget the glaring red flag in their motel setup. A hole punched through the bathroom door, a detail they've conveniently left unaddressed, hidden behind a cheap sign like it's just another quirky part of their cozy life. That hole didn't appear by magic, and the fact that it's still there, unacknowledged, speaks volumes about the chaos they're trying to normalize. Stephanie's latest video, where she muses about how unrealistic it is to keep a house clean, feels like another deflection, a way to brush off criticism while pretending their dysfunction is just relatable imperfection. It's not. It's a pattern of avoidance, from Drew's court-defying antics to their shared refusal to confront the real issues, whether it's a neglected toddler, a hazardous living situation, or a relationship built on excuses rather than accountability. The truth is, their carefully curated content isn't fooling anyone who's paying attention.
I wasn't alive today. I had Arlita and Drew's sister. And do you know that the storage unit was auctioned off allegedly for $4. So everything that they packed into the storage unit, which includes the bed bugs, the fleas from the cats, the lice from the kids. That's where all the kids' toys were. Did you guys forget? Because I didn't forget. But I see Stephanie took her Nikes out of the storage unit. Everybody thinks that those are new Nikes. They're not new Nikes. She was wearing them in the gender reveal for Atlas. So she, in my opinion, found out that her storage unit was getting auctioned. She went and saved her shoes. So they're not paying for the storage unit. They're not paying for their car. Drew's not paying child support. Where the fuck is your money? Where's your money? Because I know in a couple million views on videos I made earlier in the year, I know what I made in 1 month, and my RPM was only 25 cents. I know what I made. Where's the money? Now you're trying to raise money to get a lawyer to keep Deshaun away from his mother, who just weeks ago you were texting, trying to have a co-parenting relationship. It was also revealed today that you texted Desiree, and you told Desiree that any co-parenting communication needed to go through you. When I found that out today, oh my god, Arlita said all the words I wanted to say, because who the fuck are you, Stephanie motherfucking dummy? Told Desiree that she shouldn't be calling herself mom to Deshaun since she hasn't been there for 2 years. She wasn't allowed. I think that's the word you're looking for, Stephanie, because when you change your phone number, Drew, and then you stop answering the door when she knocks, how's she supposed to hear your son? How's she supposed to? How?
Trauma and neurodivergence are real, complex experiences, but they don't grant a free pass to shirk parenting duties, dodge financial responsibilities, or evade the basic expectations of being a decent adult. The issue with Drew Jenkins isn't that he's faced challenges in his past or lives with autism. It's that these explanations only seem to surface when he's backed into a corner, scrambling to justify his failures. They're not shared in moments of genuine reflection or growth. They're trotted out as shields during moments of scrutiny, conveniently deployed to deflect criticism without ever leading to meaningful change. It's a tactic, not a transformation, and it's exhausting to watch. The instability in Drew and Stephanie's world isn't just confined to their private struggles, it's glaringly obvious in the details they can't hide. Viewers have spotted unsettling clues, like the mysterious hole in their motel room's bathroom door, a mark that wasn't there before and now sits covered by a makeshift sign urging people to keep the door shut. No explanation, no acknowledgement, just a silent attempt to sweep it under the rug. Given Drew's documented history of volatile behavior, that hole isn't just a random blemish. It's a chilling hint at what might be happening when the cameras aren't rolling. In a cramped motel room shared with young children, even small outbursts carry weight. They don't just fade away, they reverberate, leaving lasting impressions on kids who are too young to process or protect themselves from the chaos. This isn't just about a damaged door. It's about an environment where instability is allowed to fester, where children are exposed to a version of normal that's anything but. Stephanie seems convinced that if she just keeps filming these polished moments, cooking sessions, smiling selfies, captions dripping with hope, she can somehow hold this fractured family together. But at what price? While she pours her energy into propping up Drew, a man who's repeatedly shown his true colors through neglect, defiance, and emotional distance, her children are growing up in a world where turmoil is routine. They're learning that affection is something you perform for an audience, not something you nurture in private.
Stephanie addressed Drew cheating on her in a new video. I don't know if y'all have seen Drew's side piece on TikTok or not, but it has been very entertaining. I did watch some of the videos. I don't know if they're real or not, but it's been interesting to say the least. Like I said, Stephanie addressed it in a new video she posted about 2 hours ago. Here's a clip.
It kind of hurts me that people want to believe this whole he cheated thing when I know, like I said, half the time he was right there with me for these supposed communication, and that's just not even how he talks. You know, it's just not him.
Now this is where it gets wild. Drew's side piece responded to Stephanie's video. She said, "This isn't how he talks, Steph. Girl, check the timestamp. He told me last month he wasn't doing anything." She also included those messages allegedly from Drew. I mean, I get it. So when is your birthday? Next month. Oh, really? So Cancer or Leo? Cancer. What you got planned? Oh, nothing. Nope. Unacceptable. It's okay. I'll send a gift. What's on your wish list? What you mean send a gift? That's crazy. A birthday gift. And why would that be crazy? 'Cause she gonna see it. I wouldn't put my name on it. It'll be from your long-lost Uncle Tony. Matter of fact, you should go on a little trip for your birthday. I don't do that. There's a first time for everything. I couldn't. I got kids and everything. It wouldn't work. Well, looks like I'll just have to come to you then. Now, I heard that the phone number in those messages was verified to be Drew's phone number. So, I don't know. It could be true.
They're absorbing the lesson that chaos can be glossed over with a well-edited video, that apologies don't need to be backed by action, and that love is something you stage rather than feel. This isn't just a fleeting issue, it's a dangerous cycle that risks shaping how these kids view relationships and stability for years to come. The heart of this story isn't just about Drew's refusal to take responsibility. It's about a deeply rooted pattern of manipulation, where social media is weaponized to mask dysfunction. The script is predictable. Drew messes up, whether it's through a public outburst or dodging court orders. He goes silent, letting the backlash simmer, then he reappears with a carefully crafted video, spatula in hand, while Stephanie plays along, clinging to the hope that things might improve. Maybe she believes in second chances, or maybe she's avoiding the hard truth of what leaving would mean. But the reality remains unchanged. The real victims here are the children, caught in the crossfire of their parents' charade. They're learning that yelling can be followed by a cozy cooking scene, that accountability is optional, and that their needs can take a backseat to their parents' need for validation. No amount of soft lighting or heartfelt captions can erase the damage of emotional neglect, legal evasion, or a home environment teetering on the edge of chaos. This isn't about dragging Drew or Stephanie through the mud. It's about seeing the situation for what it is. They can keep filming, keep pretending, but without real accountability, it's all just a hollow performance. The saddest part, the only one truly crying out for help is their toddler, bouncing alone in the background, unnoticed by the two people who should care the most.
Just want to know what the resilient Jenkins are hiding. It's gotta be bad, if it's worth all of this. Because I'm sorry, you literally could have just followed a court order and had 50-50 custody. That's all Des wanted. But instead, you're out here fighting tooth and nail to make sure that she can't see her son unsupervised. Is it the same reason that you don't let your kids go on field trips or join sports teams or go to camp or go to church or go anywhere else that they'll be alone with a trusted adult? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Something sinister is going on there. That iCloud hack, that was deleting evidence. Allegedly, obviously. They might not have money, they might not have a house, but the one thing they do have is audacity, because to send Desiree a text message telling her that she's not respecting her own son's wishes is wild, insane. And then because the kids obviously haven't been through enough already, all of their possessions, the few that they actually have that were in storage, they're gone. They're gone. Mommy and Daddy didn't pay the storage fee. The resilient side piece is back. She said that she's confirming she is not Des, rights and rights. She doesn't even live in Portland. She doesn't live in Oregon. She's not Arlita. Make sure I put that in there too. She ain't none of them. She was just somebody trying to prove that Drew was a cheater, which he is. All I know is that what's done in the darkness will eventually come to light. And I'm just praying for those babies, praying for Des, praying for Deshawn to go with her on Thursday.
Thank you for watching this deep dive into the Jenkins saga. It's been a heavy one, but an important one. Drop your thoughts in the comments, have a great day, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated. If you want more breakdowns like this, check out our other videos for the full scoop.